happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. Now you guys can probably already tell it is going down. Just by that title alone, you guys are definitely going to want to see this one as we're witnessing another explosion on the set of ABC's The View, aka The Spew. We've got that View host Sunny Hostin showing to us that a person blinded by hate could never really move forward, guys. I'm excited to get this one, call her out. So we're going to get straight into it. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Before we can get into it, you guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button for your boy. And without further ado, let's get straight into it, folks. Check this one out.
Can I say something? If more folks went to church, we wouldn't be in this mess we're in now.
You know what? I agree with you, Doug. I'd like to shake your hand, sir. Here we go.
No, please.
Oh, no.
Like that.
Oh, no. It's just a handshake. Yeah, it's just a handshake. Yeah, all right. You're welcome at Black Jeopardy anytime.
All right. Well, thank you, my brother. Maybe I'll start a show for you to come on, and we'll call it White Jeopardy.
No, we don't need it.
Now, some conservative viewers were not laughing at that part. They thought, I guess they thought this was new. There was a new addition, but this is a callback. He's been on several times in this character.
But the fact remains that they're making anyone who voted for Trump look like a racist, and that's why they're mad.
Well, my biggest issue with this...
And I personally would never do that, because I don't believe that any group is one thing. A lot of
oh my, and these ladies are already going trying to say that they're not the folks who are painting this picture, pushing out that narrative. And we all know this table right here, it lives right here. That hate, that negativity that's been pushed out into the ether, guess what? It's from this table, these ladies here.
Would never do that, because I don't believe that any group is one thing. A lot of these people, in my opinion, have been misled. They thought that grocery prices would come down. They're up. They thought inflation was coming down. It's up. They thought that Medicaid was safe. It's not. They thought Social Security was safe. It's not. So it's not only racism.
And all this frustration and concern that we're seeing all of a sudden has really got me confused. You know, before Donald Trump stepped back into office, no one cared about any of that. Gas prices, grocery prices, crime, inflation, none of that mattered. But now that Donald Trump's been in office, what, 4 weeks? You give this guy 4 weeks to do something you gave Joe Biden 4 years to sit on his hands and do nothing at the beach. You give Donald Trump 4 weeks and now you're saying that his supporters should be outraged? Come on, you guys.
Not. They thought Social Security was safe. It's not. So it's not only racism that caused Trump to be in office. We have to remember that. So of course they're going to be insulted.
Yeah,
we were insulted by Bill O'Reilly when he had a broad stroke on Muslims in the same way. It's the same thing. And if they can do it to them, they can do it to us.
I have a different take, though. I have a different take on that. Just because, as Whippy said, Tom Hanks joined the sketch, bringing back the character of Doug, because the first Doug was in a 2016 sketch, and in fact, that was the most popular installment of Black Jeopardy, was with Doug as the Trump supporter in 2016. I think it's a very subversive sketch. In fact, it's about Black culture being American culture, and so when you have the regular Jeopardy, you know, it's basically the white Jeopardy that already exists, because I've been on it and lost.
Is that a surprise? Is that the surprise that anyone at all that Sunny Hostin doesn't know her stuff? Supposed prosecutor. Come on now.
Because I've been on it and lost. So this you know, in 2018 you had Chadwick Boseman on, and the fact that he refused to shake the host's hand, that has happened before. Do you remember when the senator refused, the senator's husband that was being...
refused to shake Kamala.
That one sworn in, he refused to shake
That
his
is
hand.
not,
So
oh my. That right there, y'all, they try to say that it's not them, that they're painting all, you know, Donald Trump supporters or Republicans with the same brush, but guess what? They're doing it right here. This is apples to oranges. This comparison this doesn't relate. It doesn't even compare to what we seen on SNL, that skit with Tom Hanks. This shows you guys, these ladies are so delusional. They just have to play that card.
That one
yeah.
sworn in, he refused to shake her hand. So
Well,
I
they should've
felt
put
that it
him
was
in the
very
sketch.
subversive. I felt that it was a sort of a callback to
Wait,
that.
can I just do a less profound thing? If you watch the sketch, Eddie Murphy did Tracy Morgan better than Tracy Morgan. Just Tracy Morgan.
that connected to this?
that was all in that sketch.
all
and
in the same sketch.
and my problem with it was when it went from that pinnacle of hilarity when I was rolling on the ground.
I just heard something very key that just made me just these ladies would go on there and talk about it. They didn't even see the full sketch. Sunny Hostin just said, "Was that in the sketch?" She didn't even watch it, but she's up here quick to comment.
Just Tracy Morgan. That was all in that sketch.
That was Joy. It was Joy that said it. I'm sorry, guys, but Joy's getting up there quick to comment. I think she was the first one commenting, and guess what? She hasn't even seen the full sketch. They talk about things they don't know. My dad used to always tell me, if you don't know anything about it, son, don't talk about it. Go do some research.
Tracy Morgan. That was all in that sketch. And my problem with it was when it went from that pinnacle of hilarity when I was rolling on the ground, it was just the Tom Hanks part died a little. So it was more like as a high critic of comedy and a consumer, I was like, oh, end with Eddie Murphy. Like it was so brilliant.
I loved the ending with Tom Hanks. So it appealed to us in different ways.
I thought we were talking about our favorite moments from SNL 50. I did not prepare properly for this.
That was my favorite moment.
Okay. The skit was a callback. I remember the original. I thought the original was funnier, just to be honest, but I personally think the outrage over it is a little overblown. I would like to play my favorite clip, though, from the entirety of the SNL weekend that we had. Clip.
What do you think is the biggest obstacle facing young comedians today?
The same obstacle that's been facing comedians forever, being funny. You know, sometimes you're funny and sometimes you're not.
That's right. To me a dozen times because it's like being funny. It was just perfect. I had so much fun watching. I watched it in the millennial chaotic way of watching clips and not watching it in linear fashion. But from Tina Fey and Amy Poehler doing the Q&A to some of just the classic roles reprised, I feel like this was the comedy we needed. But then also the in memoriam of the sketches that just did not age well was perfect.
Yeah. Well, just to continue on my point.
Here we go.
Because I do believe that politics is a big part of Saturday Night Live for the past 50 years.
Absolutely.
And when it's done correctly, it's very effective. For instance, Steve Martin's monologue was very effective.
It was very effective.
I was actually vacationing on a friend's boat down in the Gulf of Steve Martin, he said. That makes the point that Trump wants to change names just because he's the president. He can do whatever he wants. You know, he said, well, that was not so interesting. And then he had Martin Short come in, who's a Canadian, and then ICE arrested him. I mean, those are political points that don't insult individual people.
And they're subversive.
And that's a good point that Joy makes. Those are, little jokes that don't insult entire groups of folks. You know what I mean? You see a little bit of truth in the joke, but as far as the whole Tom Hanks thing goes, I just think they took that too far. It was too dry in comedy to begin with, and it's so, I'm not even gonna say it's a sore subject because it's not a sore subject, but for you to go and try to paint this picture that you've already been trying to lie about day and night and put this idea in a folks' head even further, you're wrong. And that's why folks are upset about it, because it's something that you guys have been lying about, trying to show people. And honestly, the nation knows that at this point, with over 77 million folks voting for Donald Trump, they must already know that that's not the case. Trump supporters are not as prejudiced, or nowhere near as prejudiced as these ladies on the set. ABC's The View.
Look, the show has always done exactly what they wanted to do the way they wanted to do it, and it was no different this time, and it was good fun. And when you look back at some of the sketches, you realize that you've lived through all these changes in our times, because there were times you could get away with saying stuff that you really can't say now. And there were times when people said, you know what, let's not do this, let's do that. And people say, well, that's all right, too. It's like what you're talking about, what do you think? None of, except you and I can really have this
We remember it, we're old.
Yo, there we have it, guys. I'm not sure when these ladies will wisen up to the fact that they're only helping Donald Trump in the long run by throwing that hate and negativity and slander onto his name. Is making folks go do their research on Donald Trump, and they're figuring out that he's not so bad after all. He has a plan to clean up our nation. You just have to give him time. We got Joy Behar saying, hey, prices are up through the roof. You know, how can we afford anything? Crime's through the roof. I mean, we're seeing a change underway right now. Donald Trump has promised this, but in 4 weeks, you expect to see a drastic change? You're insane. In four years, they didn't expect to see any change from Joe Biden. I mean, it was only decline. Now they have such high expectations for Donald Trump. Give it a break. And then these ladies saying they're not going to paint all Trump supporters with the same brush. I don't believe that. When they get up here and do it day in and day out, I just can't get on board with them trying to say or condemn folks that do paint all Trump supporters with the same brush like we've seen on SNL. You can't come down on and condemn someone when you're guilty of doing the same exact thing. Guys, you truly can't make some of this stuff up. That's why I'm here to call them on their stuff. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section though. Let me know what you're thinking. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. If you did enjoy more content like this, catch you guys on the next one.